Hey, good morning. How are you? Good? Not good? Well, that sucks. I'm gonna make your day worse. Hi, my name's Cole, and I hate my life too. Join the damn party. You caught me in my daily Sailor Moon viewing. Isn't it great? I'm watching the ballet episode from season 4. Anyways, y'all know the Nostalgia Critic? Obviously, you clicked on this video, didn't you? He's an early YouTuber that talks about movies and shows from his childhood. Well, he used to. Now, he just talks about anything under the sun. But that was his whole gimmick, was taking a critical view at stuff old millennials and Gen Xers grew up with. Stuff like Nickelodeon, 80s action movies, Transformers. It's a lot of nerd stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I guess you run out of nostalgia after 15 years. I don't know. How am I supposed to know? I don't talk about my nostalgia on a day-to-day basis. Oh, wait! I lied so bad, actually. Now, I didn't grow up with a lot of the things that the Nostalgia Critic talked about, but I was a huge fan when I was a wee little middle schooler who had bad taste and was also very lame. I thought it was funny, and he talked about things that, I'd never heard of before. And I like to learn about old geek culture. It's fun. Unfortunately, he did review a few things I enjoyed, and knowing that he was going to take the piss out of the things I liked, I avoided watching those videos. Until I did. And that's when I stopped being a fan. On the flip side, I have been watching Sailor Moon since I was a literal infant. My mom was a huge fan of Sailor Moon, and she would watch it with me all the time. She was a teenager when it hit North America, and season 3 and 4 were airing when I was a baby. Sailor Moon is likely one of the first shows I ever, watched. Ever. So, I have a very deep personal connection with it, but unlike the Nostalgia Critic, I'm actually critical about the series that I watch in a healthy way. Oh my god, fisheye! See, this is what happens when you watch too many Reddit videos with Subway Surfers in the background. About 4 years ago, I made a 20-part TikTok series about the Nostalgia Critic's review of Sailor Moon. I talked about the rampant misinformation, the misogyny in that video, and we all had a good chuckle and a laugh about how stupid this fucking cishet white man is. But, looking back, I myself didn't make the best argument for the series. So, we're going to take a second look at the video, and we're going to do a proper video about it. One with research, actual video editing, good camera quality, because look at this shit, looks foul. It's stuck in portrait mode for eternity. If you want to rewatch my original series, I'll leave a link to the compilation video in the description, but it's not required viewing, so don't worry about it. And it's not the Nostalgia Critics video is quite literally 10 years old. So, I assume he's changed his views on it. I would hope. And I'm not going to talk about the multiple controversies that the critic and his crew has been in. I'm just here to talk about Sailor Moon. I'm not here to spill the tea. I'm just a hater. A really good one at that. So, the Nostalgia Critic starts out his video with a skit. Obviously, what scripted YouTube video in 2013 didn't start with a skit? And it's a dumb skit to introduce the thesis to the video, which is formatted like the To Kill a Mockingbird essay you did in freshman year that was so terrible that the teacher didn't want you to feel bad, so she gave you a C instead of a D. The question the critic poses is, what is the formula of Sailor Moon and how did it get so popular? We'll touch back on why this is the stupidest question on planet Earth. Put a pin in it. Don't forget. It will be on the test. Please pay attention. The critic wants a cash cow, so they're trying to find a formula for the best TV show ever to make him rich. which is ironic because that's probably the same reasoning Toei looked at Sailor Moon with. Toei's the production company who made Sailor Moon, or the anime, that is. They also own One Piece and Dragon Ball. They print money is what I'm saying. They're monsters. They're actual monsters. Also, by the way, he mentioned Power Rangers. Power Rangers and Sailor Moon have the same fucking formula. Fuck, that's spoilers. God damn it. Okay, so never mind about that pin. Take that pin, take it out, throw it in the trash. Remove the fact that Sailor Moon is an anime. Sailor Moon is a Monster of the Week cartoon. Power Rangers is a Monster of the Week show. Like, if we just want to say Villain of the Week cartoon, so that would mean, like, literally every single superhero show in existence. Every single superhero show and comic in existence. Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Spider-Man. The entire MCU is a Monster of the Week cartoon, if you want to think about it that way. I mean, how much of Thanos' face actually is the actor? Let's be honest with ourselves. How much of Thanos' face is actually the actor's face and not CGI? Something to think about. Hell, the Nostalgia Critic loves He-Man and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And those are both Villain of the Week shows. This skit is so stupid because he's complicating this formula. Listen to the formula he poses for Power Rangers.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Land teens fight Petty Patrol, then Monster, then Giant Monster, and Giant Robot.
See? So complicated. Here's the real Power Rangers formula. Plot happens, normally in school because they're teenagers. Villain is cooking, and it's rotten. Don't forget that, it's rotten. Villain interferes with plot. We can't stop the plot, though. So, the Power Rangers take down the villain because they're morally superior. And then the beginning plot is resolved at the end. I have watched 2 episodes of Power Rangers in my life. I know how this shit works because it's a very, very common formula, and it's in so many goddamn shows. Sailor Moon has the exact same structure, barring the main episodes. Hey, we're at the midway point. And the reason this works is simple. You watch for the characters. The heroes are written to be the most likable characters ever. They're genetically engineered for you to love them. People like seeing the good guys win. And not to mention, a lot of these shows have an overarching plot so that you're encouraged to come watch every episode as they come out, because if you don't know if you're going to get hit with new plots. If you don't know if you're going to get hit with new plot points of lore, you don't know when that's going to happen. Not to mention, the people behind these shows are stupid creative. The monsters are fun. They have to come up with a new one every single episode. They're all fun and creative. The designs are great. It's cool to see your favorite characters figure out new ways to fight different monsters every single week. In a nutshell, 90s Sailor Moon is a superhero show. It's not that difficult to grasp. It's not fucking rocket science. I don't need Malcolm in a wig to pretend to be my old math teachers. I failed Algebra 2 3 times. I can't do math for shit. I can write you a mean essay, though. I will say that. Now, this is the part where Sailor Moon fans got mad. Reasonably so, I think.
Well, let's hear it! 14-year-old girl acts stupid, uses magical powers to look slutty and stupid, talking cat tells her how to fight crime because she's so stupid, surrounds herself with smarter girls that make her look even more stupid.
That's Sailor Moon.
Where in your right mind did you think it was okay to call a 14-year-old a slut? And if I didn't mention it before, trigger warning, this entire video is going to talk heavily about child exploitation. So if you're not down for that, it's okay, you can leave. You don't have to stay. I'm not going to judge you if you don't want to stay, okay? Also, she's not. Where the fuck did you get that from? Slutty. The girl is clumsy. And she's not stupid. I want to make that very clear. Usagi is not stupid. And I'm tired of people calling her that. Do not disrespect future Neo Queen Serenity like that. Ever. Ever. Also, to address the villain attacking the same town all the time, Batman, Superman. Second, Sailor Moon quite literally attracts villains. She has the power of a planetary nuke. You don't think these magic bitches consent to a mass amount of power that she exerts on a day-to-day? We're only 2 minutes in, man. This is gonna be a long video. Ugh.
Does he repeat the same animation?
Worse than Hanna-Barbera!
They're not worse than Hanna-Barbera. Don't play like that. Hanna-Barbera was using same animations from Scooby-Doo all the way through the 60s to the 80s. And that was because of corporate greed and not funding animation projects as they were seen as lesser media. That is, yeah, that's... Also, the transformation scenes are gorgeous and iconic. I'm nitpicking every sentence now, Jesus Christ.
It was an export from Japan, which I think was originally called Magical Girl Squad Robo Dance, yes?
It's Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon, which basically directly translates to Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon. The manga in the West is actually fully titled Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon.
Was becoming an underground hit for kids, teens, and that creepy guy who fixes your computer.
Which I actually agree with this line. The anime community is a hellscape, neckbeards run rampant, and they really want to diddle children. I hate it here. I hate it here a lot. I really do.
Quickly notice that, like many animes, the best parts of the show aren't in the action, the character, the story, or the writing. It's in the goddamn opening theme song.
Also, as though American cartoons don't also save their best animation for the opening theme. I mean, what? I never said that. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't know, man. I always hate those people that say that all anime suck. I understand it's not for everyone, but come on, that's an entire country's animation field. And you're gonna say all of it isn't of artistic value. Just saying, something smells weird. I'm not gonna point to that conclusion, obviously. Not my place. But just saying. Little weird, little weird.
The obvious American additions, like this pointless Star Wars style scroll. Yeah, because that's what girls watching this show are really into. Star Wars!
Yes! Yes! Sexism! We reached it! We reached it! My favorite, tasty. Give me more. Give me more. Girl can't like Star Wars. They like Barbie. And dresses. And they like pink. They can't like Star Wars. Girls don't like Star Wars. But we do support the Deek Dub hate in this house, though. Hell yes. Fuck the Deek Dub homophobic asses. I can smell the 90s through the screen. Ugh.
Though her world was destroyed, Queen Serenity's last hope was the power of the Empyrean Silver Crystal and the Crescent Moon Wand.
Only this crystal and wand can combat the power of the negative.
Quick side note. Why the fuck did the Deek Dub ruin the mystery of the entire first season in the first episode? What was the point of that? That scene specifically, is supposed to be halfway through the first season after Usagi is revealed to be the Moon Princess. Because it reveals Usagi as the Moon Princess. I'm not nostalgic for the Deek Dub. I grew up with Season 3 and Season 4, which were dubbed by Cloverway. That dub sucks ass too. But at least it didn't have 90s syndrome. And it kept most of the original editing. Most, not all.
Still had to follow up all that supposed epicness with this.
Is it though? Is it though? It's the first episode. Chill, my guy. 90s Sailor Moon has ass pacing. I will admit to that. But sit down. It's the first episode. Calm down, dude.
Chill out, Serena. It's just one lousy test. It's not like it's the end of the world or something.
You don't understand. I'm Japanese. To me, failure is everything.
About racism now. We have racism. Oh my gosh. Make sure you mark that on your cishet white man bingo card. What do you mean you didn't get one? I handed them out at the beginning. Pay attention next time. Yeesh.
Pretty as sin and dumb as cheese.
She's not stupid. She's not stupid. She's not stupid. She's a middle schooler that doesn't function in the school system. That doesn't mean she's stupid. She's just naive. And possibly neurodivergent, but that's just me projecting at that point.
Most of her time solving her problems by intelligently ignoring them and finding more ways to spend her mother's money.
Bitch only watching the first episode, not to mention, he's commenting on a non-existent freaking conflict. Money is not an issue for her family. You're projecting stereotypes onto her. She's a child. A child. You act like teen boys don't want to spend their parents' money too. Because they do. I know. Because I just know. I just know.
Hey, that's clearly an insult to meatballs.
And you're an insult to rational thinking. Oh.
Hook up? Nah, and how tediously long do they drag that out? Oh,
Wrong again. Jim and Pam take 3/4 of the damn series to get together. Usagi and Mamoru are together about halfway through season 1. You don't have to lie. It's okay. Just reread your Spark Notes, please. Pretty please?
wait, here's a confusing scene. We see her walk by a poster of a young girl dressed exactly how she is dressed. Like it's from a movie or a show or something. So, what? A movie or TV industry got wind of this idea that coincidentally is exactly the same as what's going on right now?
Like, I understand the deep dub doesn't go very hard into Sailor V. But I'm gonna explain it, because this bitch doesn't understand shit. I'll explain it, so you don't have to. Oh my god, am I the nostalgia critic? I'm the nostalgia critic. That's dumb. I take it back. I don't want that title. It's a common Japanese middle school uniform. It's just altered a bit. And Sailor V is a real superhero in their universe, and I'm blocking that. That's actually... Okay, nope, that's a seizure warning, I'm sorry. But Sailor... Jesus. Yeah, okay. And Sailor V is a real superhero in their universe. She was found before Sailor Moon was, and has been fighting those villains for years due to, you know, planetary nuke just being in the area. And, you know, they couldn't find Sailor Moon yet, so they used Sailor V as a decoy, to draw away villains from the real Moon Princess. Because, for those of you who don't know, Sailor V is actually Sailor Venus. Obviously, like, it's not very well hidden. It's a really blatant twist. So, they used Sailor V as a decoy to draw villains away from the real Moon Princess, and then trained and they also had her trained to be one of the Sailor Guardians, to be an expert before any of the others were ready. So that she could be like, she's like a guiding mentor for them. A mentor from the shadows, if you may. It's also why she wears that middle school uniform. It works as a disguise, because, well, everyone wears those, you know? Oh, I gotta pick a new episode. What episode should I pick? The fairy episode, because this one doesn't have a watermark saved on my computer. And it's a fisheye episode, another one. We love our little gay boy Fisheye. Even though he's a trans woman stereotype, we love him regardless. Also, outside of the show, the sailor outfits were used so that young girls could see themselves in the Sailor Guardian's shoes. It's to give them a unique relatability to the girls watching, that they can be heroes themselves, and you don't need to do research to do that either. Did he not notice that all of the other girls, every single one of them, every single one of them is wearing one of those uniforms? I should not expect anything from this man, honestly. I should stop expecting anything. But Sailor V is very important. That's pretty much what you need to know. In the first season, Sailor V is extremely, extremely important.
Tiara, the boots, the nail polish. Later covered by gloves, so that was pointless.
Fun fact, the nail polish is there because Toei is evil and wanted to sell Sailor Moon branded nail polish. I told you they're monsters. Why are you not surprised? Why are you surprised? I've had pizza here this whole time, and I haven't eaten it.
The mini skirt. Yep, the costume choice that in no way enables her to fight better, but sure does force her to squat a lot.
Now this is the dumbest shit. Why is it a mini skirt? Oh, why is it a mini skirt? Why can't it be a long skirt? Because a long skirt is hard to maneuver in? You have never fucking worn a skirt. Or a dress, for that matter. So, bitch, I want you to run in a long-ass skirt. I want you to run and try to kick somebody in a long-ass skirt. Because it's hard. It is. It's very hard. And I brought this up in my original series. It's pretty common knowledge that women have stronger legs than men. They're not punching. They're kicking. They aren't bodybuilders. They're teenage girls. Their strongest muscles aren't going to be in their fucking biceps. In the original series, I also brought up the Sailor V manga, which was unfair, honestly, as it wasn't in English at the time. Sailor V manga came out a year before Sailor Moon. So yes, Sailor Moon is technically a sequel. I'm bringing this up because there's a very good reason why they don't wear battle armor. And once you hear it, it's going to be so obvious, and you're going to smack yourself from how obvious it is. So, at one point in the manga, I don't remember exactly what happened, because I haven't read it in a while, Minako wanted to use battle armor at one point during the manga, so she used her transformation compact to give herself battle armor. To which she immediately fell over and was attacked. Because she couldn't hold up a shit ton of metal on her teenage body. Because she's a child. See why I stated that it was obvious? Because as soon as you hear that, you're like, oh yeah. Teenager's probably not going to be able to hold up the fucking Dragonborn's armor. You're right, I'm sorry. Now, we need to address the fan service claim.
Okay, so take out the fact that's obviously in no way battle armor. Take out the fact that's obviously fan service.
Because it's so fucking dumb. Fan service refers to sexualizing a character for the audience. The thing is, fan service is pandering to the audience. Who is the audience of Sailor Moon? That's right. Teenage girls. See the problem we're having? See the problem we're having? Why would a 90s anime that panders to girls have fan service that panders to men? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Also, the fact that you saw this as sexual is really telling on yourself. And it's really gross is what it is. You saw a colorful silhouette of a girl and thought that was sexual. Critic. Keep your dick in your pants, man. Only creeps think that's sexual. Ugh. Also, pull out your bingo card again. This time, we're marking the sexualizing women square. Because God forbid women exist without it. But I do need to address this before going any further. Because even though the transformations aren't sexual, this does not mean that the girls in this show aren't sexualized. But it was not fan service. I can tell you that. Among Sailor Moon fans, it's pretty well known that the creators of the 90s series are very misogynistic and creeps. For example, we have to talk about Masahiro Ando. He has directed 28 episodes of Sailor Moon, and in every single one of his episodes, there is a panty shot. That clip he showed was indeed a Masahiro Ando clip. Not that clip. That clip is not. That's not him. That's not him. I know that's not him. That's Hawkseye. That's my profile picture. That's my guy. That's my little guy. So, these shots are not made for fans. They're made for the creepy-ass men who made the show. While 90s Sailor Moon is largely a feminist show, it was still written by men who bastardized a woman's work. The original creator, Naoko Takeuchi, was very displeased with how the girls were treated in the show. Rei, for example, was completely changed by the show. They made her boy crazy in the manga. They made her boy crazy in the anime. While in the manga, Rei hates men. They made her a capitalist that wants to travel the world, but in the manga, Rei is a stoic character that wants to inherit and carry on the legacy of the shrine that her family runs. And she's deeply Buddhist. She's very religious. She's a shrine maiden, for fuck's sake. Another part that was deeply bastardized was Tuxedo Mask. In the 90s series, they use him in almost every episode to basically launch Usagi into attack mode. That he has to come in and encourage her or attack for her in order for her to get shit done. Which is deeply misogynistic, saying that she isn't able to defend herself without a man stepping in for her. In the manga, Tuxedo Mask is quite literally the emotional support. He plays the damsel in distress. He is the damsel that needs to be saved because he doesn't have enough power to be Sailor Moon. They made him into a partial savior character that's saving her. She doesn't need to be saved. That's the whole point. She does not need to be saved. She can save herself. And a lot of the things the creators would do in the 90s show was directly spit in Takeuchi's face. At the end of the first arc, Takeuchi wanted to kill off all the Guardians. Toei told her no. She didn't. And then at the end of season 1, they kill off all the Guardians without telling her. Yeah, she was a little pissed off about that. I would be a bit pissed off about that, honestly, too. Because they basically stole her fucking idea. And they claimed it was theirs. That's actually really fucked up. I hate these people. I hate the creators of the 90s Sailor Moon. I don't know if I've told you that or not. One of the reasons Takeuchi doesn't write manga anymore is because of the mistreatment from production and the companies around her. Luckily, she has all the rights to Sailor Moon, so everything Sailor Moon related goes directly back to her. But she hasn't written a new series since 2009. And really, I don't blame her. That was a tangent and a half, but I feel it's necessary to bring up when we talk about the sexualization of Sailor Moon. Because it's never talked about properly. It's about some silhouette of a girl. Honestly, dude. Transformation sequences aren't unique to Sailor Moon. You just brought up He-Man and Power Rangers. Notably, He-Man shows way more fucking skin than Sailor Moon does. And who's getting sexualized here? Just saying, you know. And the transformation sequences are a stylistic choice. And also to sell merchandise. It's a lot of merchandising, actually. Not sexual, it's capitalism. It's capitalism.
One thing perfectly clear. The age of consent in many parts of Japan is, in fact, 13 years old.
Liar, pants on fire! There's so much fire! The building is burning. The building is burning. Get a fire extinguisher. I hate this fucking argument. I hate this argument to my core. Pretty much every territory in Japan has their age of consent at 16 to 18 years old at this point. Now, he did go into some fine print about it, and he did acknowledge that, yes, this is creepy, this is bad. And yes, Japan has a very serious pedophilia problem to the point where teenagers have to advocate for themselves for stricter laws to protect them. Which is absolutely fucked. Japan has a very, very big rape culture. More than America, unfortunate as it sounds. But at the end, he still says it's a cultural difference. Say it with me now. Just because it's a part of someone's culture doesn't mean that it's right. Abusing children, no matter the culture, is not okay. But it is not our place outside of said culture to direct others. And Japanese people have been very critical about this for decades. It is not our place to butt in as much as we want to. We are outside of their society. We should not dictate them. That is their space. They are fighting their own battles. The most we can do is spread the word that it's wrong and support those in the culture that are fighting for their rights. But Critic, that's irrelevant to Sailor Moon. Especially when bringing up the transformation sequences. Come on, dude, stay on topic. Then again, I'm rambling like hell right now.
My personal problem is, like media in most cultures, it doesn't try to help younger people understand sexuality, but rather exploits it.
Pot calling the kettle black, huh? Seeing as you're the only one in this video sexualizing these girls, good sir. You saw a silhouette of a child and called her a slut. That's on you. That's on you. That's entirely your fault. Does society have this problem? Duh! But you're contributing to it, you big old dummy! And now we need to bring up the fact that he brought up exploitation. Because Sailor Moon in itself has a portrayal of exploitation and the negative effects of it. In season 2 of Sailor Moon, the main villain, Demand, kidnapped Usagi. She woke up. When she woke up, she was in different clothes, and she was with a man twice her age. And forces a kiss on her. Don't worry, it doesn't get too graphic. In the 90s series, he doesn't actually kiss her. She's saved last minute by Tuxedo Mask. But in the manga, she laments that she wasn't able to share her first kiss with the person she loved. She's sobbing on the floor. This is why this exploitation garbage gets me so angry. Because Sailor Moon has a very, very respectful portrayal of sex abuse. It doesn't go too far as to traumatize the main audience, which is like 14 to 16-year-olds. But it gets to the point across for the many of the young girls watching. It's scary, and it shows a deep connection to its audience. It shows young girls that they aren't alone in this, and they shouldn't feel ashamed by what happened. That they didn't do enough to protect themselves, because that's a common sentiment that's shared among victims. Because even the strongest woman in the universe froze. Go a bit farther. Black Lady. In season 2 as well, Chibiusa is taken away by Wise Man. A man in the shadows that promises her he'll support her as she feels she basically killed her entire civilization. When she returns, her body is twisted into that of an adult. Her body is sexualized. Her mind is no longer her own, and she is acting out of the enemy's desires. Her childish crush on her father from the past becomes sexual as she kisses him and ropes him away. Something that was once innocent has been deeply scarred and twisted. Reminder, Chibiusa is 8 to 10 years old mentally, and she's being forced to exploit herself as a child. Something that is very common in our society to young girls. It's just painted with symbolism. She doesn't actually have a crush on her dad. She just embodies what she sees Usagi doing for Mamoru. She's not a monster. She's a child that doesn't know how to properly express love yet. Young girls are constantly sexualized, and many embody this at a young age. When I was a kid, I saw girls in elementary school and middle school sexualizing themselves. And because I grew up femme, many times I was pressured into that mold as well. Sailor Moon is one of the few shows to actually get this stuff right. It is a show for girls that accurately depicts the problems that girls go through growing up. Sure, it's magical and whimsical, but it's also quite a dark series. The 90s anime was toned down a lot, but there are some of these few aspects that still remain fundamentally.
Given this information, why did I still put her in the top 11 hottest anime of women list?
Why are you telling on yourself like that? Why did you make that list in general? You made it clear you don't like anime that much. Adding on to the fact that your dumbass didn't even watch the shows that you put on the list. This is the most disturbing part of the video. I won't subject you to it. It's gross. Basically, his sexual awakening was Sailor Moon. And he demonstrates that by making his penis talk and zooming in on his crotch. It's Malcolm's voice, by the way. God, I hope that man got paid good for that shit. I would not have put up with that. Yeah. A lot of people had their sexual awakening to Sailor Moon. And that's... In fact, I have it under good authority that it's actually in the contract for when you become a lesbian. That you have had to have watched at least a little bit of Sailor Moon at one point in your life. I read it back in the day, but I never signed it. I think it was like Clause 6 or whatever. I'm a trans man now. I will burst into flames if I touch that contract, so I can't cite it for you guys. Sorry. Lesbians, you gotta let me know. Okay, when you're also a child, to love another child. Not when you're a fucking adult. I had a huge crush on Edward Elric at 15. Do I have a crush on him now? No. That's a 16-year-old.
In fact, I bet she'll keep this exact same calm state every single time she changes, and every villain she's fighting will quietly wait for her to finish before actually attacking.
Stealing forum jokes from 2002 isn't cool, Mr. Critic. My dad was making those jokes back in 2005. So it's another stylistic choice. This is how long it actually takes for them to transform. We just see a slowed down version of it because it's pretty. It's pretty.
Known as Queen Beryl. Yes, because no name is more terrifying than a wooden container that can bring me alcohol.
Beryl was named after a stone. So many of the villains in the series are named after stones because the creator has a degree in chemistry and also really likes rocks. Also, Jadeite. That's his actual name, is Jadeite. The Deke Dub strikes again with the useless name changes.
That's exactly what she's doing! She's running from a real fight! Come on, you idiot, don't pussy out!
You keep griping about her being a child, and now you're mad that she's behaving like a child. Plus, grown adults would scream if they saw the shit that she saw on a daily basis. Just admit it. The only reason you're griping is because she's a young girl. How the fuck is she supposed to instantly snap into action? You showed this clip of her hyperventilating. She's in a panic. Girlie isn't used to this yet. Oh my god, this again? You only watched 5 episodes. How the fuck would you know? Sailor Moon adapts about a fourth of the way through the first season, and that's because shit gets even worse for her.
The device, though, she also has a pen that can change her into anything. Wait, what?
It's a very powerful transforming tool. It turns you into whatever you want.
Not anything. It just changes her outfit and hairstyle. That is the Deke Dub's fault. I really hate the Deke Dub, if you could not tell. I'm getting real nitpicky again. Don't mind me.
He's over! 6 seasons spared!
Why can't he do his research? There's 5 seasons, the last season of which wasn't available in America until 2016 due to the fact that it was too inappropriate. This motherfucker hasn't seen the Sailor Starlights. I think his brain would explode if he saw them.
Other reincarnations of the Scouts are found over time, usually in the exact same city and often even the exact same...
They were reborn in the same place because the Sailor Senshi are meant to protect the Moon Princess, aka Sailor Moon. So why would they be born continents apart? Is critical thinking too hard for you? You can't just sit down and watch season 1. You don't expect all 200. I don't expect all 200 episodes out of you. Just season 1. Just finish season 1.
Serena, a monster is attacking Tokyo!
How far away is that?
About 10 miles.
Hey, it's just Tokyo.
But you should...
Bitch doesn't know how big Tokyo is. She lives in Tokyo! Specifically, the Juban district, where the author was raised.
Personalities are about as on par as, let's say, the Spice Girls. No, that's too demeaning. Let's say handsome.
Didn't watch the show. Of course you see all the characters as one note. Every character is one note if you know nothing about them.
And yes, even the other planets over time join the group as well. Ooh, except Pluto. You're not a planet anymore, so, yeah.
Oh my god. Look at the wiki. Dwarf planets also have Sailor Guardians. Sailor Ceres, Sailor Pallas, Sailor Juno, Sailor Vesta. They're all dwarf planets, you dork. Ugh. And the Sailor Starlights are comets.
Every kid snickered like an idiot when they heard there really was a Sailor Uranus.
Uranus. It's pronounced Uranus. Even the Cloverway dub pronounced it correctly. And again, with stealing 15-year-old forum posts. Great.
But,
Oh shit, I forgot this was Minion's peak year. The Critic was posting Facebook Minion memes. He is that age, actually, so not too terribly surprising.
Actually, things got kind of interesting with her character, seeing how Uranus and Neptune were cousins in the show, but not in the Japanese version. No, in the Japanese version, they were a couple.
I don't like the phrasing here. I don't like his phrasing here. They were cousins in the show, but not in the Japanese version. It's telling that you call this the Japanese version and not the original version, as though the Deke Dub is the definitive version of the show. I know the Deke Dub wasn't out yet, but he commented briefly about the changes that he made, about the changes that they made, so why doesn't he come out and say it? The Deke Dub disgraces the original. Flat out.
That's right, straight up lesbians.
What was that?
Nothing, I said nothing!
Hey guys, look! We got bingo! Sexualizing lesbians! Guys, we got bingo! And the only prize we get is just getting a little angrier today. Hallelujah! Though I do appreciate him bringing up the hypocrisy of society sexualizing children while calling same-sex relationships inappropriate for children. I would have liked his message more if he didn't sexualize them in the progress. Again, Haruka and Michiru are 16 when they're introduced. You are a part of the very problem that you just criticized. Boiling down lesbian relationships to what makes your dick hard is one of the prime reasons why gay relationships are stigmatized. because you only view them through a pornographic lens. And that's only contributing to the harm caused by this rhetoric. It should be mentioned that in the first season, Kunzite and Zoisite are also a gay couple. And in the Geek dub, they made Zoisite a woman. And in the Cloverway dub, they made Fisheye, a prominent gay man, into a woman as well. See, why I hate these dubs so much? I have nostalgia for the voice acting at times. I grew up with them. Even if the direction the VAs were given was damn terrible, they're still good VAs. They're still good at what they do. It's the direction that's at fault. There are a lot of shows that I liked growing up that they were in, like Care Bears. But homophobia ain't cool. We're skipping over the Sailor Says section of the video because the Geek dub can suck my cock. We've reached the end now, and the Nostalgia Critic gives us that overly complicated explanation of the formula that we were promised at the beginning.
And that formula, as I can figure out, is as such. Serena acts like a selfish idiot. Supportive friends pick up her slack. Beryl rubs Crystal Ball like a boob and sends Jedi out to create monster and/or device to obtain energy, using a marketing tool targeted towards vain suburbanites. One of the scouts discovers the plan or falls for it herself. Transformation takes place via reused sexually confusing animation. Scout or scouts are trapped. Pratt in the Hat seems to get them out and do nothing else. Serena never figures out who he is, uses her magic tiara that she should have used earlier instead of reusing more dialogue footage, destroys villain, and goes back to being an idiot again. So,
a formula that doesn't hold up past the first 10 episodes.
World, I think it's weird, but I guess there's always just gonna be cultural differences.
Taking this statement out of context, no, sir, no. Even if it's another culture, sexualizing children is never okay. I don't like it when the 90s series does it, even though you cited the wrong damn things, you imbecile. The moment we turn complacent to this behavior, the more desensitized we become to it. I have been in the anime community since I was 12 years old. That's when I began engaging with people I know about anime. Not online yet, thank God. But because of my age at the time, these things started becoming more and more okay. It was grooming. Not the standard grooming for sexual favors, but grooming in a sense that we became desensitized to the exploitation of children and women in these shows. Miyazaki once stated that he hated that he helped anime become popular, and he got a lot of hate for this comment, which I completely understand where he's coming from. Fiction does affect reality, and it is a reflection of it, because the people making these shows are real people. Their portrayal of things in specific lights shows how they treat people. One of the most best examples is Naruto. Jiraiya is a very prominent character in the series, and is a comedic character. He gropes women! Naruto uses his sexy jutsu in front of him, and he's instantly attracted and encourages that behavior when Naruto is just a kid. And it's played for laughs. And people still cry at Jiraiya's death. There's a reason the pervert trope is a trope in anime, because sexual assault in their society is a joke. Rurouni Kenshin, I don't remember if I say that correctly, I always pronounce the name of this show wrong, is a very popular anime that helped influence some of the greatest anime of all time. It's not too terribly popular in the West, but it helped create things like Naruto and One Piece. The creator is also a pedophile who was investigated and found mountains upon mountains of child porn. He was charged the equivalent of $1,500 and didn't spend a minute in jail. He was openly praised by Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, Masashi Kishimoto, creator of Naruto, Takeshi Obata, the creator of Death Note, and at least 11 other mangaka in the industry praised him, even after his child pornography charges. Now, I'm not telling you that you're a bad person or whatever vitriolic virtue signaling crap that TikTok likes to spew. You are perfectly within your right to enjoy the media you want to enjoy. And there are very few shows that I would actually call you a bad person for consuming content of. By that I mean it's Harry Potter. But only if you buy new ass books and brand new shit. Go to Goodwill. They always have one of the books in stock or one of the movies in stock. And even then, nobody's forcing you to do anything. Do whatever you want. That doesn't mean you won't be judged. I will be side-eyeing you if you pick up a brand new Harry Potter book, though. Just go to the library! Fiction reflects the reality of the rape culture that Japan has, and I've seen it grow onto the anime community in the West. Like, we're getting less neckbeards now that are saying, she's actually 3,000 years old. We're having more people become critical about this media. We're having less and less mainstream anime come out with this behavior in it. It still exists. My Hero and Seven Deadly Sins, to name some, and to a lesser extent, Demon Slayer, though that isn't as bad. So we shouldn't just grow complacent to this behavior. I've grown numb to it at this point, but it's something I'm still gonna complain about. One of my favorite anime of all time is Made in Abyss. Would I drag the creator through a bed of razor blades with lemon juice on them? Yes. Yes, I would. In Minecraft. I hate that man. I hate that man a lot. To acknowledge when this is happening to prevent the spread of it in our culture is the most that we can do. Yes, shame these fuckers. Shame them to high hell and back if they dare to sexualize a child. Because as non-Japanese people, we can't really affect Japanese politics. But we as a culture can look at ourselves and point out the problems that these creations have caused in our own culture. How many times at conventions have you seen people being groped or touched as a joke while in cosplay? Too many times. You are not a bad person if you enjoy things like Naruto or Seven Deadly Sins, but you are a bad person if you condone the behavior that is displayed in those shows and the behavior that is reflected by the fans of those shows. Now, after that tangent and a half, let's get back to our actual conclusion. The Critic was a misogynistic prick in this. He sexualized the girls in the show. He sexualized lesbian relationships. He didn't do any research about the series besides watching the first episode, and that was it. He reused dead jokes that people have been hashing out in cafeterias since 1999. And it's just a bad faith review. You go into this with an open mind. He already had preconceived notions about the series, and that was reflected in everything he said. And he never considered the audience of the show. It's not for you. It's for girls. Of course, a middle-aged cishet man would gain nothing from Sailor Moon because it's not for you. It's honestly reflective of his character as a critic and someone who claims to produce honest reviews, when it's blatantly deceptive about what's actually in the show. It's disingenuous, and he didn't even talk about what a cultural phenomenon Sailor Moon was. Naoko Takeuchi was a pioneer, with some people crediting her as the first female mangaka. I have some digressions about that because I feel like there has to have been a female mangaka before 1992. Even if they went under a male pseudonym. But Naoko was one of the first to be openly female and to gain widespread attention. Because fun fact, and since the 90s, she's been openly advocating for LGBT rights. She has trans characters in Sailor Moon. Sailor Uranus is trans. Or intersex, whichever way you would like to prefer to interpret it. And fun fact, it is still illegal to marry the same sex in Japan. Bet you Fujoshis didn't know that, did you? Bet you didn't. The anime industry to this day is still very, very misogynistic, but she paved the way for other female mangaka to spread their wings. Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the most beloved manga of all time. And it was written by a woman. Same with Demon Slayer. There's a reason he went after Sailor Moon and not something like OG Dragon Ball or Naruto. Or anything else of the sort. Because Sailor Moon is aimed towards girls. And men love to take the piss out of women. Dragon Ball would have been an easy contender to make fun of and make memes about. And the sexualization of minors is so much worse than Sailor Moon's occasional panty shot. Or was he too scared of the fan bases? Sailor Moon's fan base right now is pretty lax most days. It's mainly just infighting about which dub is better. And why Sailor Moon Crystal should have had a bigger budget. It's the Viz dub, by the way. The Viz dub is better. I'm not hearing your argument. I refuse to listen to anyone who thinks that homophobia in the original dubs is preferable. Guess who knows from experience of people being blatantly homophobic in the Sailor Moon fandom? That's right. It's me. But he's too chicken shit to review Dragon Ball. It's easy to make fun of a woman, but a man? They'll murder you for that. Especially if you go after their Lord and Savior Goku. By the way, Sailor Moon could body Goku easily. Again, she has the power of 10 million nukes. Though, I think they would be besties. They go to the mall on Saturdays, and they have double dates with their spouses. At the end of the day, this review is in bad faith, which honestly is a problem with almost all of his reviews. This one just had a lot of misogyny in it, and misinformation. Anyways, I've yapped enough for one damn day. This is going to take me like 6 months to edit, knowing my shitty track record of making videos, but that's okay. I finished a script for once. 13 damn pages of one, in fact. Jesus Christ. I wrote it in a day. I hope y'all are having a good day. I hope you aren't mad at me for showing you this shit, so. Okay, bye!